The Legend of the Empty Cup. Once upon a time in ancient China, there was a renowned Zen master who was widely respected not only for his deep spiritual wisdom, but also for his understanding of life's complexities. People traveled from distant lands to seek his guidance, and he was always happy to offer his insights. One fine day, a scholar, highly educated and proud of his intellectual accomplishments, traveled to meet the Zen master. He had heard about the master's great wisdom and wanted to test him with some of the most profound philosophical questions of the time. The scholar believed that, with his extensive knowledge, he could challenge the Zen master and prove his own intellect. Upon arriving at the master's humble dwelling, the scholar was warmly welcomed. After exchanging pleasantries, the scholar quickly began to speak of the various texts, philosophies, and ideologies he had studied over the years. He spoke in a way that made it clear that he considered himself highly knowledgeable. "Master," the scholar began confidently, "I have traveled far to seek your wisdom. I have spent years studying the great teachings of Confucius, Laozi, and all the great thinkers. My mind is full of knowledge. Please share with me the secret to true wisdom and enlightenment." The Zen master nodded thoughtfully and then smiled. He seemed to listen to the scholar's words, but his expression was calm, as if he were waiting for something. After a brief pause, the Zen master suggested, "Let us have some tea before we begin our conversation. Please sit and relax." The scholar, eager to engage in deep discussions, sat down immediately. As the Zen master prepared the tea, he began to pour it into the scholar's cup. But the master did not stop pouring. The tea began to spill over the edges of the cup, filling the table, and even running onto the floor. "Master, stop! The cup is full. It cannot hold any more tea," the scholar exclaimed, startled by the sight of the tea overflowing. The Zen master calmly continued pouring, his face serene. He didn't stop until the tea had spilled everywhere. Finally, he placed the teapot down and turned to the scholar. "Just like this cup," the master said softly, "you are so full of your own ideas, opinions, and knowledge that there is no room for anything new. You came here seeking wisdom, yet you are already so full of your own thoughts that you cannot accept new teachings." The scholar was stunned. He was a learned man, accustomed to receiving praise for his intellect. He had never imagined that his knowledge could be an obstacle to learning. "But master," he said, "I have spent years studying and learning from many different sources. How can I have no room for wisdom?" The Zen master smiled gently and replied, "You see, the tea is like wisdom. If you want to receive something new, you must first empty your cup. If you keep pouring more tea into an already full cup, it will only spill out and nothing new can be absorbed. In the same way, if you approach life with a closed mind, filled only with what you already know, you will never be able to truly learn anything new. You must first let go of your pride and preconceived notions. Only then will you be able to take in fresh wisdom." The scholar, deeply humbled by this revelation, took a moment to reflect on the Zen master's words. He realized that, while he had accumulated a vast amount of knowledge, he had been too proud and rigid in his thinking. He had never truly been open to learning from others, believing his own ideas to be the only valid ones. After a long silence, the scholar nodded in understanding. "Master, I see now," he said quietly. "I have been like the full cup, overflowing with my own knowledge. I have come here seeking wisdom, but I must first empty my cup of arrogance and self-importance before I can truly learn." The Zen master smiled kindly. "It is a difficult lesson to learn, but once you empty your cup, you will be able to fill it with the wisdom of the world. When you let go of your own ideas and assumptions, you will open yourself to a deeper understanding of life. Wisdom comes not from the quantity of knowledge, but from the ability to see things clearly and without bias." Morale. The true path to wisdom lies in humility and being open-minded. If we are too full of our own beliefs and knowledge, we leave no room for new insights. To grow and truly learn, we must be willing to empty our cup